Tonight, Cyclone Marcia smashes the Queensland coast as a Category 5 storm.
Most people, including the experts, have been caught off guard by the speed of Marcia's development.
Some incredible video out of South Korea of two pedestrians disappearing into a sinkhole. A security camera captured it all, and you can see the two people getting off a bus there. They step onto the sidewalk and ground just opens right up. They fall right through the pavement.
These images show a 10-meter wide sinkhole that has swallowed a street in suburban Naples in Italy. Over 380 people had to be evacuated after a hole opened up on Monday.
What's believed to have been a space rock just the size of a human fist grabbed Skywatch's attention across a large part of the country last night.
Fireballs in the night sky across Korea Sunday night made a sensation over the weekend.
Fireball streaks across the sky in Pittsburgh.
So what was it?
That was the fireball in real time, but here it is slowed down, showing an incredibly bright path as it grazes our atmosphere. It was seen over New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Talk of the town all across our area reports of bright lights and loud booms.
One person in Green Cove Springs describing it as a huge boom. Another person at Disney saying he saw blue and green color in the sky.
Britain says it had to scramble fighter jets to see two Russian bombers off the south coast of England. The Ministry of Defence said in a statement that already poor relations between Britain and Russia would likely worsen. This footage from Russian television shows the view from the bomber.
The president now taking aim at your ammo. President Obama working to use his executive action to ban some of the most used bullets in the country for the AR-15s.
President Obama wants to ban them, and now many of you want to buy them.
Yeah, demand is hot right now for green-tipped bullets. Traditionally, they're used in automatic rifles, but the Obama administration is calling for a ban to protect police since this kind of ammo can pierce bulletproof vests. Now, this proposal, of course, triggering a heated debate nationwide.
In the short term, if Mr. McConnell, the leader of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, want to have a vote on whether what I'm doing is legal or not, they can have that vote. I will veto that vote because I'm absolutely confident that what we're doing is the right thing to do.
A call to prayer and a call to action in Washington, D.C. About 200 people gather in front of the White House Friday.
My name is Imam Abdisalam Adam of the Islamic Civic Society of America and Dar al-Hijra Mosque. We emphasize the following: the peace, safety, and security of the United States are of paramount importance to the Muslim American community. We believe in the right of all people to live in peace and security.
President Obama still rejecting the notion that the West is at war with Islam during his three-day extremism summit.
So where's the real threat? Well, according to new reports leaked from the Department of Homeland Security, the real threat, says the Obama administration, isn't ISIS, but domestic conservatives, right-wing extremists, they're the ones who are attacking America. So the idea that the real threat to America comes from Americans who don't like the government, for the president to claim that not only are people who disagree with me wrong, they're dangerous.
It's hard to believe that this is actually happening in America.
The city of Chicago has long had a reputation for doing things in a very specific and what some might call interesting manner when it comes to law enforcement. While The Untouchables revealed a very Hollywood version of that ideal, in essence, it's not far at all from what some say is the truth here in 2015. Sometimes in order to do the job, cops get their hands dirty. Every member of law enforcement knows this. But what has been uncovered in the Windy City is at a level few believe still existed.
When they first arrested us, they took us to this building. We were never booked or we were never processed.
A secret interrogation facility. And they're talking here about keeping arrestees out of official booking databases, shackling them for prolonged periods of time, beating by police resulting in head wounds. First of all, before we even get to what happens around American law enforcement, are you surprised at all to hear that in 2015 there is a building like this that is being used in a major city?
When I first read the report, I really was surprised. I looked for some other source because I thought this was just, some report that would be, found not to be credible in the end. The almost Gestapo tactics that I'm reading about now.
A historic change this morning for how everyone uses his internet. For the first time, the web will be regulated much like landline telephone service. Regulators approved net neutrality yesterday. The rules are designed to make sure internet companies treat all content providers equally without charging more for faster service.
In March 2013, you misled the Senate Intelligence Committee about the scope of NSA surveillance. What do you have to say to communities of color that are so hyper-policed that we're subjected to extrajudicial assassination for selling loose cigarettes when you can get away with perjury before the Senate? Why is your agency above the law? Why is your agency above the law, sir? Why can you lie to the Senate about mass surveillance, presuming the entire globe?
Can you tell me why you just spoke in front of James Clapper?
Because the Director of National Intelligence committed perjury before the Senate in March 2013 about the scope of national surveillance, domestic mass
Can you tell me your name?
I'm Shahid Buttar from the Bill of Rights Defense Committee.
This morning, American malls are beefing up security after a new terror threat.
In the video, a mass narrator calls on Muslims to carry out similar attacks in America, Canada, and the UK.
What if such an attack was to occur in the Mall of America in Minnesota?
Over the weekend, the Mall of America responded by making changes.
The terrorist threat is rising at home and abroad, and is becoming harder to combat. We've seen on our TV screens and in our newspapers the evidence of the new dark age that has now settled over much of Syria and Iraq.
The skies of Perth are abuzz at the moment with a swarm of Black Hawk helicopters. It's all part of an anti-terror operation taking place here over the next month or so. Michael Genovese is in front of the huge choppers this morning. Michael, looking right at home there, mate. They are creating quite a bit of noise around town, though.
Yeah, they are creating noise around town. Not yet this morning, though, but I can assure you they will later on this afternoon and tonight as pilots fly these choppers nice and low around the urban areas of Perth. They've been cruising the Perth skyline since Friday. Now, the ADF has already apologised ahead of time for the noise that they'll make, flying over urban areas as low as 100 feet. That's just over 30 metres, Tim. Now, the Army has stressed to the people of Perth that if you do hear one or more of these choppers flying low in your area, do not be alarmed because it is simply a routine training drill.
Ever wonder what it would be like if scientists could digitally implant memories into your brain? You could have the memory of an extended vacation at the beach and vividly recollect the feeling of a long walk on the white sand, feeling the breeze in your hair and the waves at your feet, all without having ever left your home. Well, it sounds like something straight out of the movie Total Recall. According to theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku, this futuristic concept isn't too far into the future.
Not happy about your body? How about a new one? One doctor claims he could be ready to perform a full body transplant within 2 years. That means surgically removing someone's head and attaching the head to a donor's body.
Yeah, it sounds like science fiction, really. How much respect have we to give you for this? How close do you believe you are to being able to do this?
I just made the announcement when I was pretty sure that it can be carried out right now.
Okay.
We have the technology.
We come together from more than 60 countries from every continent. We speak different languages, born of different races and ethnic groups, belong to different religions. We are here today because we are united. And finally, we have to ensure that our diverse societies truly welcome and respect people of all faiths and backgrounds. And leaders set the tone on this issue.
They have a kind of apocalyptic view of what they are doing. They truly believe that the end times are here, that they are part of a cosmic struggle between good and evil. Their worldview is that they are leading the fight to bring true Islam to the Muslim world.
O people, recently you've seen us on the hills of Asham and on Dabok's plain, chopping off the heads that have been carrying the cross delusion for a long time. And today, we're on the south of Rome.
ISIS has been taking the Syrian Christians from a chain of villages in the past 3 days.
Church pastor Rob Bell has been raising a lot of eyebrows lately for his evolving views about Christianity and the Bible.
When is the church going to get that? We're close, I think
it's evolving. I think it's...
Lots of people are already there. We think it's inevitable, and we're moments.
A moment away from the church accepting it.
Absolutely.
Really? Yeah.
Because as soon as you meet someone, and most of the time when people have resistance to this, and I say to them...
You think we're moments away?
I think culture is already there.
Okay.
And the church will continue to be even more irrelevant when it quotes letters from 2,000 years ago as their best defense.
The terror threat has Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu encouraging European Jews to move to Israel.
A response from the Israeli Prime Minister.
Jews have been murdered again on European soil only because they were Jews, and this wave of attacks is expected to continue.
At a cabinet meeting, Benjamin Netanyahu announced a $45 million plan to encourage Jewish immigration.
We say to Jews, to our brothers and sisters, Israel is your home. We are preparing and calling for the absorption of mass immigration from Europe.
The UK could be plunged into darkness next month, as experts warn there could be the biggest solar eclipse since 1999. In London and the southeast, 85% of the sun will be obscured by the moon, while in northern Scotland, more than 95% will be covered.
With the persecution of Christians on the rise in countries like Egypt, Syria, and Libya, why would anyone risk their lives to go there? For some people, it's not about fear.
The cost of their life is worth the potential ability to share the cause of Christ.